Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be showing you how to crochet these cute Minnie Mouse ears. Little keychain, as you can see here. You can turn it to either Minnie Mouse or Mickey Mouse by either placing a bow or doing it without the bow. So let's begin. Okay, so the things we'll need for this project are black yarn for the ears, some red yarn for the bow for the Minnie Mouse, and some jewellery wire, and a sewing needle or a glue gun, depending how you're planning on attaching the item, some scissors, and also you'll need a crochet hook. I used a size 3.5. You can use any size, it would change the size of your keyring though. So we're going to first start by making a magic ring, as you can see here. Wrap it around your fingers, forming a cross, and then pull from the yarn far ahead and then chain one. Then you're going to have to do 4 single crochets into the magic ring. So that's 1 single crochet, pull through, and then second crochet, third single crochet, and then finally the 4th single crochet, pull through. Now you need to grab the short yarn and close the magic ring. So you do this by pulling the yarn, just like so. Perfect, and that is our round 1 complete. So we're going to start on round 2. We're going to start by making a single crochet into the first stitch. That's 1 single crochet. And then we're going to make an increase in the next stitch. So it's going to be 2 single crochets into the same stitch. So that's the first single crochet. And then the second single crochet into the same stitch, and then in the next stitch we're going to just do 1 single crochet, pull through, and then we're going to make a increase again into the next stitch, so 2 single crochets into the same stitch. That's 1 and then 2, so that's 6 stitches all together in total. Okay, so for the next 14 rounds, we're going to make 6 single crochets all around. So that's 1 single crochet. I would use a stitch marker just so you don't end up losing your count for the 6 stitches. But again, you can do this without if you prefer. So that's the second single crochet. I'm just going to crochet all around 6 times for 14 more rounds. Okay, so that's round 3 complete, and then now we're going to take the stitch marker out, do another single crochet and start the next round again. So this will be our 4th round. Place the stitch marker again. So you need to place a stitch marker every time after you start your new round, just so you don't end up losing count. It does get hard to count as the rounds continue to get larger. So I'll just be showing how I'm single crocheting all around for a few more rounds. If you would like, you can skip ahead to round 17, but we're just going to continue until we get our desired length. Okay, so now we are on round 17, as you can see here. I'm just going to continue doing my single crochet all around for the last time. And that is the end of round 17. Now you're going to need to prepare your jewellery wire. I just cut it to the desired length and then folded it 3 times to get to that thickness that I wanted it. Again, it depends on the size of your own jewellery wire as well. And then I just give it a little twist so it all stuck together. Okay, now we're going to get our crochet project, and as you can see here, this is the length line looks like, and there is a little gap in the middle. You can't really see it because it's black yarn, but we're just going to place that wire through that hole all the way. This part can be tricky, as you can see here, because it tries to escape through the gaps, but just continue pushing through. Nearly done. Okay, so once the wire is through, we're going to continue crocheting. This is our last round, round 18. So you're going to make a single crochet into the next stitch, as you can see here. Pull through, and then we are going to make a decrease. So you're going to place the hook, pull through, and then get into the next stitch through the hook. Pull through, and you're going to have 3 strands of yarn on your hook, and then you're going to have to pull through all 3, and that's 1 decrease. And then just another single crochet into the next stitch, and then another decrease. So pull through 1 stitch, and then the next stitch, pull through again. This part can be tricky. And then you have 3 strands of yarn, pull through all 3, and that is the project done. So to fasten off, you can either cut off here, or you can chain 1, or you can do a slip stitch. I prefer to do a slip stitch, so just pull through and pull through again. That's it. Now we're going to cut the yarn off. You don't need to have a really long strand. We're just going to end up closing the hole at the top. That's all we need the extra yarn for. So now we'll need a needle, as you can see here. Pull it through. So to fasten off, we are going to pull the hook through each stitch. So you're going to pull it through 4 times in total. But if you've done a slip stitch, that'll be only 3. So we're just going to pull through each stitch and also pull it tight so it ends up closing the hole. That's the 3rd one, and then we are all done. As you can see here, the hole is closed. And I just like to put the needle through to hide the extra excess yarn. It's up to you if you like to cut it off from here or tie a knot, whatever you fancy. Okay, so we're done with the band here, and I'm just going to cut off that extra yarn that we have, and then this way we can bend it to our desired shape because of the wire inside, as I'm showing here. So this is the desired shape you will need to put it into, but we're good for now. So let's move on to the ears, shall we? Okay, to start the ears, we're going to first make a magic ring. You'll need to make 2 of these, so this is the first one. Then pull through, chain 1, and that's the start of our magic ring. So you're going to need to do 5 single crochets into the magic ring. So that's 1 single crochet, pull through, 2nd single crochet, pull through, 3rd single crochet, 4th single crochet, and the 5th single crochet. Okay, so after we've done, we're going to close the magic ring. You're going to do this by grabbing the short yarn. I don't know why I struggled here. And then just pull the yarn as tight as you can, and that is the magic ring closed. That is round 1 complete. Now we're going to start on round 2. We're going to make increases all around. So we're going to do 5 increases in total. So that's 2 single crochets into the same stitch. So that's 1 single crochet. And then that is the 2nd single crochet. So that's 1 increase completed. We're going to do another single crochet into the next stitch. And then another stitch. And that's our 2nd increase completed. Now we'll do 1 more single crochet, and then the 2nd single crochet into the same chain, and that's our 3rd increase completed. 1 single crochet, second single crochet into the same chain. Our next increase is completed, and now it's our final increase. So one stitch, and then the second stitch into the same chain, and that's all 5 increases completed. And now we're going to fasten off. So you can do this by either chaining one and slip stitching. I'm going to slip stitch, pull through and pull through twice. That's it. Cut off the excess yarn, and that's one ear completed. Make sure to leave a long strand of yarn so you can sew the ears into the headband, or if you're on a glue gun, you don't need to leave long strands of yarn if you are gluing them. So that's one ear completed, and our second ear is now completed too, just doing the same pattern. And now we're going to get onto the bow. So if you're planning on making a Minnie Mouse, we'll be crocheting a bow. You start this by making a chain first. You can use any method. I like to use this one. Pull through, that's it, tighten my stitch. So we are now going to do 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to skip the first stitch, get into the second stitch. We're going to start from the second stitch from the hook and do 4 single crochet. So that's 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 3rd single crochet, and then the 4th single crochet. And then we are going to turn the crochet project, so flip it over, and then we are going to make another 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do our 4th and last single crochet. So to fasten up, you can either cut the yarn or you can chain one or slip stitch. I prefer to chain one here, so we're just going to chain one and then cut off the excess. So this is what it will look like, as you can see here, just looking like a rectangle at the moment. So with the excess yarn that we have on either side, we are going to wrap it around the middle to make the bow shape. As you can see here, we're going to wrap it around as tight as we can to make the little bow shape. And at the end, this is what it will look like, a cute little mini bow. So let's get to sewing. Now we're going to either sew it on or glue it on, depending on how you prefer to do it. So first, make sure the headband is at the desired shape, a little C but upside down. And then get the 2 ears, and we're going to sew them on or glue them on at the position that I've shown here. I'm going to use a sewing needle. So that's the first ear stitched, and then the second, and that is the Mickey Mouse completed. So if you're just doing a Mickey Mouse and not a Minnie Mouse, this is how your desired product will look. And then if you want to make a Minnie Mouse, like I am going to do here, just get the bow, and you will need to either stitch or glue this on. And this is the end product. If you would like, you can add a keychain to the ear to make the cute little key ring. So I've made a Minnie Mouse key ring. You can also make a Mickey Mouse keyring, as you can see here. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye.